Thank you, Professor Wang. First of all, many thanks to and respects to the public health and medical personnel all around the world risking their lives to save us. I don't think we cannot thank them too much. Without their help, I don't think we can survive in this very dangerous environment. In the interest of time, I would like to just hit the high points in understanding the implications of this COVID-19 crisis for the public diplomacy. First of all, I would like to emphasize upon the importance of the successful national models. When you have a successful national model, that model will become a very precious and valuable public diplomacy asset, or what I would call a soft power resource. South Korea has had a few successful national models. One of them is our economic development model, which is already well known to the outside world. And the second one is our democratization model. And the third one might be our successful model to commercialize Korea's popular culture all around the world, which is now termed as the Korean wave. And perhaps if we are lucky and if we endeavor harder and if we succeed, we might have another successful Korean model, which is what I would call a pandemic prevention model during the age of globalization. Korea has been quite successful in terms of preventing the pandemic or controlling the disease for a while. We do not know whether or not we are going to end up with a very, very successful model, but I think it is very important for us to succeed in controlling the disease. Otherwise, we may end up with a very, very authoritarian or totalitarian control model, which may end up with the Great Depression, shutting down the global economy all around the world. So it is very important to have a success model, and Korea's success model in terms of preventing and controlling the pandemic, which is COVID-19 this time, consists of a few elements. One of them is a very well-prepared public health and medical system, very highly qualified medical and public health personnel. That is number one. And number two is very well-educated civil society. The people are, abiding by the law very, very carefully. And third one is what I would call a public-private partnership in developing testing kit, apps, and also distributing the face masks. The public-private partnership was very timely and very well coordinated, so we do not have the problem of getting access to the mask anymore. And also quite flexible and agile responses by the government officials. And the last but not least, Korea's very heavily wired information society is helping us in terms of contact tracing and also sharing information about the outbreaks of the disease. So having these elements, we have a very successful democratic, relatively open system model, so that we can, to a certain extent, maintain our daily lives and also run the economy as usual. Of course, we have to limit some of the privacy, some of people's privacy, and also our economy is not 100%. But compared with other countries, this model is relatively open, and also we can maintain our daily lives. So if this model continues to be successful, we can share this model with other countries so that other countries can also maintain their daily lives and also open up their economies and the border sooner or later. then we don't have to end up with shutting down all the economies all around the world, so that we can prevent the outbreak of another Great Depression. And secondly, there are some people who are criticizing the privacy problem of South Korea. Of course, we also have quite intense discussion about the privacy issues in this country. However, the limitation of people's privacy was quite well accepted by the civil society in order to save our lives, in order to stay healthy. And at the same time, Korea still remains very open, transparent, and democratic. As evidenced by the national election 2 days ago, we were able to have a very good participatory democracy by participating in the national election. And also the election site was very well prepared by the government. We had 1 meter distance rule, we had sanitizers, we had plastic gloves, we had temperature checks, and people were very orderly. So we were able to have one of the most successful national election in the history of Korea's democracy. Therefore, I would like to mention again that we now have a quite successful national model that we can share with other countries. As long as we have that one, that will be a very precious and valuable public diplomacy asset. We cannot be too complacent about our success. We cannot be too happy about what we have achieved so far. But it is very important to make this very, very successful. As I said earlier, otherwise we are going to end up with a very authoritarian and totalitarian control system that may shut down the global economy. So that's what I have in mind at the time, and I'm happy to receive questions from the audience. Thank you very much.